Well, hello everyone. I'm going to instruct you today on doing a pastel pear, and this is similar to what we'll have at the end of this session. It'll be a little bit different because every time I do something and everyone does something, it's always a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to start out with sanded paper. It's 400. I'm sure there's various things you can do. You actually don't always have to use sanded paper. Actually, on this one, I did not use a sanded paper, but you will get a better effect if you use a sanded paper. And you will also need pastels. Use the best that you can use that for the quality. Try not to use the cheapest brands because they really don't give you a good result. First thing I'm going to do is pencil in the pear, and I have observed pears many times, and actually that's probably your best bet is if you can get a pear and put some light on it. So it's coming from one direction, you'll be able to see the different shades and values of the pear. And the next thing I'm going to do is pencil in the pear. Okay, here we go. Sorry, took a little time there. Okay, so when you pencil in your pear, I like to hold my pencil like this, and instead of holding it like you are writing, you will hold it like you're using a piece of chalk, and this will help you to be a little bit looser. So when you think about the shape of a pear, you have your top part, which is like a sort of a triangle. Everything is a shape. So here's the top part of my pear, and then the bottom part of my pear. Actually, a pear is never a perfect circle, but it's irregular. I like to call that organic. Like I said, if you actually look at a pear, that's what I would advise. Okay, so there's a basic shape of a pear. Now, I'm going to start out with some yellows. Of course, before you start your painting, you would look at what you're going to do. I just pulled out some various tones that I want to use to do this painting. And you call pastel, when you do pastels, it's called a painting. So I think I'm going to start with this raw sienna color or a yellow ochre maybe. And I'm going to just start putting some in like that. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. And then I'm going to go to, and oh, another thing too, you should always have a paper towel ready. You need to wipe your fingers a lot. Your fingers are your paintbrushes, and your pastels will need wiped off a lot. Put some yellow in there, and then this is a paler yellow, and I'm going to put that on the very end. And my light source is coming from this direction. Now, if you look at a color wheel, the complementary color to yellows is purple. So our shading is going to have purple in it. And you know, values are more important than color. Getting the right values. Now, I'm going to make sure my fingers are clean. And I'm going to start with my darkest color and start rubbing it into the yellows and golds that I have. Now I want to wipe my fingers off and go into the lighter colors. Wipe my finger off. Okay, so there's the beginning, just the beginning. Now I'm going to do a background color. You always want to go several shades darker or lighter. I'm going to go darker, and I'm going to go with some blues. Here's a nice dark blue. And you go right up to the object that you're doing, in this case the pear. I think I'm just going to do it all the way around like this. I'm not going to worry about a tabletop difference because we're kind of like wanting to do this pretty quickly. So see, that really pops it out. Now I'm going to get in there and blend it right up to the edge of my pear. Okay, now let's get the edge of this. Now, when you go around these edges, you can let that color just a little bit seep into the edge of your pear. You could do the same thing with an apple or an orange or anything you're doing. But I like a little bit of that color to come into what I'm doing. You see how I just did a little bit and let that color go into it. Gives you that really nice edge. Okay, now that's the base. You know, and if your hands get really messy, you might have to actually wash your hands. Just like think about how when you do a painting, you have to wash your brushes out. Okay, so now we have the basic color, but I'm going to put some different color accents. Now, if I was doing this I'm doing this quickly for you guys, I would come out more all around here, but I'm not going to do that today for time. But I'm going to put some different colors in there. And let's put this tabletop back in. Okay. You can be really loose and free with that. Wipe my hands off good. So I'm going to go with some lighter colors now. I'm going to take some white and I'm going to put some white. Now you got to be careful with this because you don't want it to be like just white. You see, there's a lot of blue on my fingers. So I'm going to use this and rub that in because I don't want like a white look there. Okay, I'm going to get this light yellow and I'm going to put this on. Now see, the highlights are starting to pop up. Maybe a little back into this. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of green. You know, there's usually a little bit of green. And then I think I'm going to come back and add some more. Let's see if this is a little darker. Yeah, it is. A little bit of a darker lavender. You can go right over top. Like that. And wipe my hands again. Blend. And now I'm going to go back again because I want to have some fresh marks on here. Okay, back. Get some of that dark back in. Okay, now I'm going to use this black one just to get a little bit. I don't want to use too much black though because I really don't want it to turn black. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to take, this is burnt sienna color, and I'm going to put that down because I'm going to do the complementary color to it to create a very dark shadow, which is the, oh, here it is, the dark blue. Look at that, it turns it really dark. Okay, so it's coming along. And it's okay if some of that raw color shows through. It just makes it more interesting. Okay, now we're going to put our stem in. Well, not quite yet, because I'm going to do some more to the background and to the foreground. Okay, so we're going to create some light coming in here. And maybe a little bit more, light will come back in here. And then we're going to do some variations on the top. And this is where you can start having a little bit of fun. Doing some loose looks. Maybe just blend it a little bit. And then we'll put in our stem. I'm going to use this dark blue. And you have to get a corner